Hi everybody, it's Doreen, and today I'm back with a video response, and it's a response to Carol Ann. Her YouTube channel is Logan's Crafty Momma, and what she wanted to know from everybody was for you to list 15 of your top favorite things that you used in 2010. So I thought I'd go ahead and take on this challenge, and let me tell you, it was very difficult because I had more than 15. I think I could have did it with probably 40, 45. So it was hard, but I was able to narrow it down to 15, and I hope I'm not cheating because I kind of put some things together, because if I listed one, the thing that went with it, I counted as one. So let me get started, and I'm going to tell you what my 15 things are. The first thing, and the number one thing of the 2010, my favorite things to use is, of course, my ATG gun. And I purchased this stand online, and I painted it, of course, purple. So it looks like this, and my ATG gun sits down inside this. Doesn't sit down in there that often because I'm always using it. But when I'm not using it, it sits in this stand, and looks like this. I blinged it up. So I guess you can probably imagine what my number two thing is. And of course, it's something that I use a lot when making my cards, and it is my bling. And I just discovered this, my i-roc tool, later in the year. So even though I have the i-roc bling to use with the i-roc, I also use all of this bling that I have here. So I have tons and tons and tons of colors. So this is my number two. And actually it was a toss-up between the ATG gun and the bling as the number one, because I really like and use both a lot. I think I kind of use bling more than I used the ATG gun last year. But I still put that as number two. They were kind of like a tie with each other. So now, my number three thing is my Bow Easy. I used this a lot last year, and this will probably be my favorite thing again to use this year with the ribbon. So I didn't bring out any of the ribbon because I used tons of different kinds of ribbon with the Bow Easy. So that was my number three thing. And then number four was my clear tape. And I used this to do the cheater method for when I put ribbon on my cards. So that would be my number four. And then if you watch my videos, you'll see that I use a lot of, which is my number five, mounting tape. I love this stuff. I love to pop things up on my cards to make it stand out. And besides the mounting tape, I also use the dimensionals. And these are just some recollection dimensionals. And then I use the Stampin' Up. But Carol Ann mentioned another YouTuber or a blog that a lady has these on her blog, and I think I'm going to order some of those from her and try hers out. But I love the mounting tape and the dimensionals. So now my number six is, I'm going to say it is my Gypsy along with my Cricut, and my Cricut's back here on my table. You can't have one or use one without the other. So since this is my favorite for number 6, I'm going to include the Cricut with that. And I did have a couple cartridges that I used a lot last year, so I guess I'm going to throw those in there too. I used the Joys of the Season and the Christmas cartridge a lot when I did the Christmas cards with the Cricut series. So that was my favorite cartridge to use last year for 2010. So now, let's see, I'm at number 7. Number 7 would be my Score Buddy. I used this a lot last year to make my cards. I also have the Score Pal and I have the Martha Stewart, but I really use this one more for making my cards. And I'm going to add, along with number 7, my bone folder. I also use this a lot when I was using the Score Buddy. So that's going to be my number 7. My number 8 would be, and I'm going to put these two together as well because I use these both hand in hand, would be my Tim Holtz Tonic Studio Scissors and my Martha Stewart X-Acto knife. I use both of these a lot when doing my trimming, and so I put these hand in hand as my number 8. My number 9 would be my Cuttlebug. I use the Cuttlebug a lot when making my cards, and although I have quite a few of the Cuttlebug folders, and I also have the Big Shot, I use the Cuttlebug more because it's smaller, it's closer to me, and it's easier for me to handle and pick up and grab right away. I do have my Big Shot on another table that I use when I'm on that side of the room, when I'm actually using the dies and want to do a cutout using my Sizzix, my Spellbinder dies. But the folder that I used the most last year was the Swiss Dots folder. So my number 9 is my Cuttlebug and the Swiss Dot folder. Okay, so my number 10 would have to be my new paper trimmer. It's the Fiskars Premium Paper Trimmer, and I did do a video previously asking everybody to tell me what is the right paper trimmer for me, or what paper trimmer do they have that they like. And I used this paper trimmer when I did the series Christmas cards with the Cricut, and I was able to use this and not have to change the blade not once. And I actually made 40 cards, and I did a couple other presents where I had to use my paper trimmer. And so far, I really like this one. So now let me move on. My number 11 is my Aleene's glue gun. I really like this glue gun because it has a temperature gauge on it, and this one gets really hot. The other thing that I really like about this glue gun is that the glue, when you're not using it, does not just ooze out and drip everywhere. It just kind of stays stationary and doesn't come out until you press for the glue to come out. So I really like this, and I'm glad that Kathy from Paper Phenomenon talked me into getting this one. Because a little small one I had, it got hot, but not as hot as it should. And it was a high temp gun, and I didn't like the fact that the glue was constantly oozing out. I got more glue oozing out than I actually got glue to use. So now let's see what number I'm on. Number 12. My number 12 is my Stamp-A-Ma-Jig. I could not make cards and put sentiments in the cards or on the front of the cards without this tool. Whoever came up with this, they were a genius. I am so glad that I have this. And I recommend, if you like to stamp and you're not good at lining things up, which I'm not, purchase a Stamp-A-Ma-Jig. Okay, my number 13 would be my corner chompers. Now I have all the corner chompers, and I use a rounded edge and the deco edge the most. So that would be my number 13. My number 14 is actually any of the edger punches, and I'm just going to pull one out. I have several of the Martha Stewart's, so I don't have one particular favorite one because I like them all. So I'm going to say, and I also have the EK Success ones. So I'm just going to say that any of the edger punches I used a lot in 2010 and I like. And my number 15, let me get it, is the Tim Holtz Distress Ink. And I'm going to say all the colors. Right now, I think the color that I used the most was the Vintage Photo. So that would be, I would say, my favorite color out of all of them. And it looks like this. So that's my top 15 craft favorites that I use for 2010. And as I said before, this was real difficult to pick which one were my top favorite. I really had fun doing this. Thanks, Carol Ann, for suggesting that we do this, and everybody make a video, or send her, if you can't do a video, send her a comment, and I'll put the link to her request so that if you don't want to send a video and you just want to send a written response, you can send it to her. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye. Okay, everybody, wait. There is one more thing, but actually this goes with my number 1, my ATG gun, and it goes with the glue gun. It's my adhesive remover. I don't know what I would have done without this. This works great for when you've got glue or tape someplace you don't want it. You just take it and erase it or run it over where you don't want the glue to show, and it takes it up. So I'm still at 15. I just forgot to add this with the ATG gun. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.